This Week 6 College Football Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Right now, to honor football, MyBookie is offering up to $1,000 in free bets using the promo code SGP. That's right, $1,000 in bonus bets on your first deposit when you use the promo code SGP. Play, win, and most importantly, get paid at MyBookie.ag. We're also brought to you by Amazon. Log on to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and click the Amazon banner. Bookmark that link and use it every time you shop to score sweet savings and support the podcast. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer dog?
Fuck everything, man. I'm in a good mood, even though the Hokies. Honestly, it's it. I'm never going to see a good Virginia Tech football team again.
Ryan, you're just off the bandwagon, huh?
I want to talk to Colby about this. Can we bring him on?
Should I remind you that Buzz Williams is gone? And
You're not allowed. You're not allowed.
Joining
to talk
us in studio for the College Football Picks podcast, Colby Dan, aka the Dantabase himself.
How you doing, guys? Aren't you glad I didn't put that game on there so people would emphasize it more? You know what I mean?
I think Virginia Tech is taking a lot of heat off of what should be directed at Colby's six-pack because we're all doing our
What do you mean?
Our locks and our teases in particular. I'm somehow at 80% teases. Locks, Kramer 60, Colby and I have 50%. Bonus locks, 80 Kramer, 60% for me, and Colby 100% bonus locks.
Ooh.
There's one place where we're doing horrible as a podcast, and that's Colby's six-pack.
Well, Sean, also the last time had you tailed myself and Colby for the past all the weeks but the first one, 4 weeks, you would have not lost a single bonus lock. I'm on a ridiculous run, almost as ridiculous as yours.
Yeah,
it's the six-pack though, and Sean, I know
it's clear it's dragging the program down.
I don't mean to step on what I assumed you were going to get into the serious talk we have to have.
Yes.
But I teased the funeral, and I think a lot of people hit me up on the social media at Kramercentric, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find me. And they were like, what? It's a funeral for Virginia Tech? No. It's a funeral for Colby's six-pack.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, it's 1 week suspension?
Well, here's and this is dead serious. If
you guys didn't want UMass on, you didn't want these games that I was hitting, you know what I mean? You guys have sprinkled, bad juju on my six-pack.
Colby, it's not the time. It's not the time to act like the bagel boss. Just sit down and let Sean talk.
I think Colby has to go above 500 in the six-pack, or the listeners get to pick the six-pack.
Ooh.
I think that's a fair. We are a gambling podcast. We do let it ride. I think 1 week suspension if you don't go for at least 4-2. 3-3, I think a push is a loss in this case.
I'm all about this then because the listeners, they always ask me, why didn't I cover the UMass Akron game last week? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of questions about Liberty, New Mexico State.
Yeah, there we go, man.
No one's asking you these questions. Calm down. No one's asking about it.
No, people were.
I did.
It's out there on the deep dark web.
It's like Trump when he's like, many people are saying, can you pick the Liberty, New Mexico State? People are saying it's the greatest game of all time.
Fade New Mexico State. I'm what, like 4-1 against them?
I'm going all in on Trump.
Sean,
I stepped on.
I retweeted the Colby's solicitation for questions, and someone replied to me, "What's the best play in tomorrow's Champions League?" We're obviously not going to talk about that, but you should check out the Champions League preview that Billy put up on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, where Colby, also a resident.
Who?
And not only hosted the College Experience, but we're talking previews. Colby already given the fans what they want, the Missouri Valley Conference preview, all teams ranked.
Yes.
Didn't do it early and often. I love it.
But just so we can get it out of the way before to close the loop on this Virginia Tech sucks wagon.
Yes.
How Fuente still has he been fired yet, Colby?
He has not.
He is not. It's got to be soon. Robbie from the 2D.
Yeah, buddy of mine. Yeah.
Hokies podcast, honestly the only one that I've continued to listen through these dark times. All the money on the line. Does Virginia Tech make it to 5 wins this year?
You have 2 FCSs, so I think yes.
How many wins do they have right now? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can beat 2 FCS teams.
No, there's
6?
there's only one FCS left,
Oh, okay.
but
Where's the other win?
Rhode Island and
No. Besides Rhode Island, where? All right, they have Miami.
Georgia Tech.
It's at Georgia Tech.
Have you seen Georgia Tech scored 2 points against Temple this past week?
For that reason, and I think they probably
That's impressive.
They probably randomly beat Wake Forest or something stupid like that. But
Wake Forest is 5-0 right now. Buddy.
Fuente needs to be like shot in the dick and then shot in the head because I want him to feel some fucking pain.
Wow, Ryan.
But
Just
I would
not feeling the
I
program.
would put all the monies on them getting to 5.
Is this part of the fuck my life tour too, or is that?
Is it? What did I call for?
Scones Jones looked pretty good the other night.
What did I call for earlier this year, Sean? I told you that if this was really going to be a fuck my life tour, UVA would beat Virginia Tech, killing a 15-season win streak. What is going to happen this year?
It's gonna get destroyed.
It's gonna get destroyed. And Fuente has murdered a perfectly good football program in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about your 6-pack. No pressure.
By the way, last week's 6-pack, we just got bad beats. Navy should have covered that. If you look at the yardage, same with UAB, and then
Colby, I didn't know you were one to look at the stats.
Virginia is another one. If that pick 6 doesn't happen or whatever.
Maryland, that was a bad beat.
Well, that was a really bad beat.
It was a fucking beating in the head.
It
Was
could have
that,
gave
that
me
was.
50.
Although, I'll be
That's
honest.
the most I've ever lost a game by in my life.
If I'm going to lose a game, I'd rather it just be that because I stopped watching like
I didn't even answer
after
your
the
text.
third drive. And then I just tweeted out Maryland sucks. And then
No, you
fuck
texted
Maryland.
me saying, "What's up with this Maryland team?" And I was like, I was already drinking, man.
It was probably already 21-0 then.
I was at some bar where some Alabama fans started buying me all these Jameson shots. So it was at least I
Navy
was
was-
happy, yeah.
Colby, we have to do this every once in a while. But if someone from Alabama starts buying you shots, that's because they're trying to get you to fall asleep on your front. If you know what I mean.
I was with Patty C. I had some
So
backup.
rule number 1,
right?
sleep on your back. Rule number 2, don't enjoy shots with a man from Alabama.
Dude, this dude. What the best part of all this was he bought us like 6 rounds of shots. Right?
He's trying to fuck both of you.
No. And then he's like, I got to go out of here. My daughter's on her first date. This guy's like in his 50, probably 48 years old, right? And he's like, I got to go check on my daughter. She's on her first date. She's 16. Would love to see how that went.
Head of Public Relations, Colby Dan. All right, so the 4 and 2 is the bar. If the bar is not met,
I'm gonna go 6-0.
The listeners
6-0
are
this week.
hijacking the 6-pack for a week.
When I sat down, because other times I've tried to strategize which game should I put in there, not to please my bosses. But you know what? I woke up today and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm going back
Ooh.
into the old school database."
What's the old school database?
Is that
chalk?
I don't care about your opinions. You know what I mean? I'm just going in. You want to win money or not?
I would like to win money.
All right, then you better take liberty. All right.
Oh,
All right, come on. You can't. Come on, Colby. This is show business. You can't just ruin things.
You can't just ruin things. You ruin everything.
You don't give away the picks before the ad read. Don't take a knee during this read, Colby, because we are here not only to honor football, but also MyBookie.ag, the presenting sponsor of this podcast and all the podcasts you hear on SGPN. We got it all. Ton of content, ton of blogs, picks, money we give out to you guys for free. That's right, $0 down. And you know who helps make it happen? They are the coal of the free content train. They are MyBookie.ag. You can deposit withdrawal using sweet cryptocurrency. And they got a simple formula over there. It's a 3-part plan. First, you play. Or, wait, what is it? Yeah, sorry. First you play, then you win, then you get paid.
How much Jameson did you give this guy?
I was ready
How
to
much
come in.
Jameson did you
I
give this
gave
guy?
him a 2-finger special.
Play, win, and get paid over at MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP. You know what it is? I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately because fucking possums have gotten into the crawl space underneath my house.
Oh, boy.
And it's just been this ongoing nightmare. So finally, I got a cage from Lowe's, and I got to go crawl under the crawl space and set a possum trap tonight. And it's been on my mind.
Sean,
My wife suggested letting the possums live there, which was not a – that was her suggestion. I'm like, no, we're not going to just because you don't eat meat doesn't mean we're just going to live in a possum-filled house. And it's insane. So we have the way our house is set up, we have this gas heater. It's like this old gas heater. And there's a crack there that you can kind of see down into the space. So what I've been doing is when I hear the possums at night, I have like set up a flashlight to point down into the crawl space, and then the possums don't move because they're scared of the light. I also set up some Christmas tree lights on the other side of the crawl space, hoping to scare them out. So it's been an ongoing saga that's ruining my life. But the possums go down tonight.
You should just get a cat.
No, dude, the neighbor's cat, so you would think is a great suggestion. I opened up the crawl space. I tried to scare him out with the Christmas lights, with making noise, whatever, to rattle them. And they wouldn't come out. And while I had the like gate open on the crawl space, the neighbor's cat went in there and was like hanging out for a while. I don't know what these possums are doing.
Some Zen possums. They're having good parties underneath there, man.
Dude,
I think they just go in this weird hibernation mode that you can't shake them.
We need to have an adult conversation about hiring professionals.
Yeah, well, that's
Sean,
the next step.
Dude, the podcast, we can't have you out because you get mauled by some You're going into the crawl space at night? What's wrong with you?
Well, if you guys want to...
do you see this studio?
This is great.
We're not poor.
That is true.
Hire a professional.
We're doing all right for ourselves, but I'm a man who I'm a DIY guy at heart. Lowe's, Home Depot, if you're listening, Jameson, if you're listening. Those are my two tools in DIY. Jameson and Lowe's.
Definitely a lot of effort. High effort guy.
I will be setting the traps.
I'm
if you guys want to
Bill Murray and Caddyshack right here is going on
all day. Colby, high effort guy. High effort guy.
If you guys want to follow the Possum Tail on social media, check it out. Instagram exclusive over at Sports Gambling Podcast.
Not super high usage.
I gotta do some research on if there's somewhere a college basketball team named the Possums. We might have to throw some money on them this year.
Forget that. I'm concerned that we're never going to do another podcast because Sean's going to die tonight.
There's a decent chance. That's why I said don't give me a ton of whiskey tonight, Ryan. Just a moderate amount.
It's true.
I
go, you want a whiskey? He's like, yeah, keep it light though.
I'm fighting.
I got some possums. I got some possums. It's gonna be a late night at the house. I gotta be on top of the possums when they come out.
If I die, you know I die doing what I love, getting drunk and yelling at possums. First game in the Colby Six-Pack, the much talked about Colby Six-Pack in beautiful Lubbock, Texas. 9 a.m. kick. Oklahoma State squaring off against Texas Tech. OK State minus 10.5 road favorites, minus 360 on the money line. Texas Tech plus 290. Total sitting at 62 points. Colby, tell us what to do here.
Well, we are a podcast. I think I'm just going to speak on your guys' behalf on this.
Go for it.
That we support our guy, our coach, Mike One Leach, right? And
there we go. Tell us about the tree.
Well, they still owe him some money in Lubbock, so I'm on the opinion of fade the Red Raiders because Alan Bowman, their quarterback's been injured, and I think they're the worst team in the Big 12. I think they're worse than Kansas this year. I won some money last week on them. I took Oklahoma minus the points. They easily covered that. I got our boy Gundy coming in there, the mullet.
I do like Gundy.
And minus the 10.5 points coming into Lubbock, getting it done.
So I had a feeling this is what was going to happen. I had a feeling that Colby was going to overreact to the bad week, and he was going to go back to what got him here. And that was laying down nothing but
chalk.
fat road chalk. And as I looked at these games, I'm like, honestly, some of this shit I'm not even going to prep for because situationally, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know 100% when I see 10.5 with Texas Tech, I'm sorry. Give me the dog. Give me the dog.
They lost to Kevin Sumlin.
Whatever.
That's pretty bad.
Kevin Sumlin is not involved in this game. Sean, this is all about contrarian play. 84% of the tickets are on Oklahoma State. 80% of the money. Give me the dog. Give me the dog. Give me the dog.
I'm a gut handicapper. You guys know that. And my gut may be ripped open by vicious possums tonight. But one thing I do know is that a team that goes 6-0 ATS in the last 6 games, they've just Oklahoma State has looked way better than anyone thought. They've exceeded expectations by a large margin. Yep. Eventually, the market's going to correct itself. Eventually, they're going to come back to earth. They're a good team, certainly. But covering 10.5 on the road is still formidable. Give me the Red Raiders catching 10.5. Colby, teams don't just cover every spread in a season.
They're the worst team in the Big 12. They will not cover this game.
I knew playing chess over here. I knew you were going to come hard. Before I even looked at I should have told Sean this just for proof, but I was like, I'm going to be on a lot of underdogs tonight. I know it. And I'm going to be fading the database.
And it opened up at 10.
Hey,
yeah,
guys,
I actually wrote it as 10. I think you changed it.
I always update the lines to make sure we're picking the most up-to-date numbers for
Funny,
our clients.
you got that little hook, huh?
MyBookie.ag.
Where it helps me, of course. Fans, at this point, you really want to start thinking about what games next week we want to put in the six-pack.
Yeah. already start looking ahead. Get those look-ahead lines ready.
We should also look for another host because the Possums are going to take down Green. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, that's just negative energy. Now you're just being grumpy.
You just cited Mike Leach's people that still haven't paid him. All right.
Well, I got to be honest. I need to see a little bit more from Coach Leach. Team. Maybe they could use Bigfoot.
What a great press conference, though, wasn't it?
He's always great at that part of the game, but I need to see more on the field, if you know what I mean.
I was going to reach out to Coach Leach and ask if they wanted, some sort of tackling drill. I can come in, show how to square up, how to lay a shoulder, how to wrap up. I'm open. Right? I played both ways, Leach.
Still got a year of eligibility left, don't you?
Yeah, okay.
In Manhattan, Kansas, Baylor comes to town, squaring off against Kansas State. 12:30 kick. K-State, the Wildcats, -2, -125. Baylor +105. Total sitting at 51. Colby, what are you doing here?
I am taking the Kansas State Wildcats. Look, they lost in Stillwater, coming back home to Manhattan. Chris Kleiman, their coach, hasn't lost 2 games back-to-back in like 10 years. So, former North Dakota State coach.
Yes.
So,
I see what you're doing there. Trying to politic.
No.
Trying to get Sean on your side.
That's why he hasn't lost more than 2 games in a while. I like Kansas. Baylor looked all right to me, but they haven't hit the road really so far this college football season. So
that is what concerns me. I feel like there's a couple games we're going to talk about where teams are taking to the road for the first time. I'm sticking to my preseason prediction. And what was that, Sean? That was where we were going to see Baylor. Did I say shock the world and win the Big 12, or I think at least get to the Big 12 championship?
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to that. I'm worried about the first road spot. I'm not too worried because Kansas State's not a team I'm stoked on.
I'm completely impressed.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were going to be much worse this year.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're saying you brought them up a little bit, that's one thing. But if you're saying they're a above average college football team,
I mean, I think they're
are they a great college football team?
I think
contender. I think.
I just think Baylor's not a good road team. 1-4 straight up in their last 5 on the road. And 3-7 ATS in their last 10 against Kansas State. I think this is when in doubt, take the home team. Give me Kansas State. It's a small. Why is this not 3? Would be my only thought. It's probably because people look at Baylor and say,
Hype.
"Oh, they're 4-0."
But I mean, Kansas State 3-1 against the spread. So from that perspective, they're equally as performant.
Is performant a word?
Performant? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sounds
Google
good.
that.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna
Our
Google
friends
that.
from Alabama believe me.
Performant financial is the only thing that is performant a real word. People ask.
Yes.
Whether or not performant is actually a real word has been debated for some time. Okay. Getting sidetracked here. I don't have a lot of other thoughts. Just K-State at home. Western Michigan squaring off against Toledo in Toledo, Ohio. Toledo -1.5, -130. Western Michigan +110. Total sitting at 69. Colby, what are you doing here?
I'm staying with the favorites. This is what we're doing. I told you. Fuck you guys.
The motto of the database.
We are going with the Toledo Rockets. Western Michigan's best player, most explosive player, play both ways. You know about both ways, right? He is out for the year. So I'm going to go ahead and Toledo's they're coming off a big win. They beat BYU at home, but Toledo's really good. Give me the Rockets at home to get it done. Love this line being so low.
At some point, you should ask me to go first, Sean, because just to prove to the audience that I'm not just fading after the fact.
Oh, wow. It's just that you're not.
I knew what Colby was going with. No. I'm on Western Michigan.
Yeah.
I want to get I need to help our clients, and the way we're going to do that is fading the database here. I see a situation where the tickets are split about 50-50, and yet over 70% of the money on Western Michigan. Antonio Brown, wow. Will he be in uniform?
He went to Central Michigan.
Central Michigan, okay. He's
Same
close,
difference.
He's close by.
Toledo is a good home team, and I know that because they're 14-2 straight up in their last 16 games at home. Ryan, they take care of the Broncos. Give me Toledo all day. Toledo Rockets are good pals over at Odds Shark. They have this 39 to 28.1.
You cut me off, though, because the last bit of my point was they just beat BYU. I have to imagine that was a big win for this team.
They didn't do any soaking after the game.
They won't be soaking in the victory.
Strikes me as a letdown spot also for Toledo. So once again, told you I was going to be on a lot of dogs. And actually, if you would let me please go first for the next one. I want to make sure people don't believe I'm just fading Colby to fade Colby.
Coming up next, 12:30 kick in Morgantown, West Virginia, home of Panther great Will Greer. West Virginia.
Grier.
It's kind of sucked that you had that prediction correct. It's just the different backup quarterback.
I forgot that Kyle Allen won a game for them last year. West Virginia catching 11.5, plus 310 on the money line. Texas coming in 11.5-point road favorite, minus 390 on the money line. 60 is the total. Kramer, why are we taking the Mountaineers here?
Morgantown is the Syracuse of the Big 12. It's the weird long trip. It's in the Eastern time zone. And Colby, I'm sure you know this because you are the database. Who does Texas have next week?
They have the Red River rivalry.
They have the Red River rivalry.
Notice how I didn't say shootout. I'm being politically correct.
That's right. The Red River shootout here on the Sports Gambling Podcast. Listen, if that offends you, sorry. Maybe not the right show for you.
There's no way you listened this far in the show and to have that offend
you. It's a rivalry, not a shootout. How dare you?
Could be a first-time listener. We got a lot of followers this past week, guys.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have made it this far in the podcast.
Situationally, this is 100% a play on West Virginia.
Look-ahead team going up against a home dog. Give me the home dog all day. West Virginia, they're a good home team. 7-1 straight up. Last 8 games at home.
And most importantly, Colby's about to tell you he likes Texas.
I like Texas. And I think West Virginia is actually not a very good football team this year. So, yeah, I told you I'm sticking to my formula. Fuck you guys. All right? And give me the Longhorns minus 10.5 or 11.5. It could be 20.5. All right? What do you want it as? Should I give you another touchdown?
Wow.
Right?
He's pleasing.
Right?
He's throwing out
He's saying the six-pack's going to also be a pleaser.
So, Colby, you're defending your six-pack with going to be every favorite.
So I am going with 6 favorites.
Hold on. I'm going to ask. We're going to have to talk to someone out in Vegas to see if we can get down a 6-team pleaser. I'll put up $20 to put down a pleaser. A 6-team pleaser has to pay like 150 to 1.
I know I know my bookie does offer the pleaser teasers.
I can't. They usually cap them at 3 teams, I thought.
Well, why don't you give your best big 3, Colby, and we'll put those into.
All
right,
well, let's move on. We're not done with the 6-pack. Everyone's dying to hear the last 2.
1:00 kick in Atlanta, Georgia. UNC, aka North Carolina, minus 10.5 road favorite against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech plus 290 on the money line. UNC minus 360. Total sitting at 49. Kramer, what are you doing here?
Oh, fuck. This is a gross game. But I knew Colby was going to come in and tell us we should take North Carolina. But Georgia Tech's really gross. But here's the thing. North Carolina's season's officially over.
What? They're going to a bowl. They're going to try to go to a bowl.
That loss was it. That was it.
They can still play Clemson.
You know what
again
Georgia Tech did? Georgia Tech circled this game, and they said, "Hey, this might be one of the games we get."
You're a fucking maniac. They lost to the Citadel at home.
North Carolina 3-10 straight up in their last 13 games.
North Carolina's pretty fraudulent. You got to admit that.
I think they're good. I think they're dude. The ACC is fraudulent. They are a contender in the Coastal. They've already beaten Miami.
I hate Georgia Tech's garbage. Very
They're
much
the worst
garbage.
Power 5 team in the country.
North Carolina shouldn't be laying 10.5 points against Georgia Tech on the road. I'm sticking with it.
If Rutgers was playing Georgia Tech, I'd say
Oh.
-10 for Rutgers.
I'll take the points. I didn't have to do much handicapping here because I knew I was just taking these dogs because I knew you were going to come with five fucking favorites.
Six, man.
6. Sean.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't advise betting this. I would advise following at Gambling Podcast because the picks I've been tweeting out of these picks we select on the podcast just been hot fire.
Georgia Tech 0-7 the last 7 games ATS. Part of me thinks they're due, but part of me just I can't bet on Georgia Tech. Give me UNC.
I'm sorry. Hold on. North Carolina has 90% of the money. This just in. What could go wrong?
I should also mention if you are thinking about throwing money on the Yellow Jackets, their top leading receiver and their center are announced today. They're out for the year.
None of that
The
matters.
center, it matters.
None of this matters.
You need a center?
Play the under if you want to have more fun, maybe.
Final game of Colby's skunky
Yeah.
6-pack.
Best part about freedom, liberty. You know what I mean?
I went to Freedom High School. Our rival was Liberty. Liberty College, 5 o'clock kick from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Is game day's going here, right? Is game day here for the game? I assume
They should be. all
Lee
right?
Corso's going to be
I
there.
think it's just going to be meth day.
Liberty minus
Show about
5.5 road favorite, -210 on the money line. New Mexico State plus 180, total sitting at 60. Colby, what are you doing here?
Look, New Mexico State pulled some bullshit out their ass last week and got a backdoor cover. They were getting blown out the whole game.
That wasn't a backdoor.
They scored with like 3 minutes left. Fresno State had their backup quarterback in.
All right, maybe a backdoor. I was following on. I obviously wasn't watching the game.
Liberty is going to come over there. Far trip. This is what I love about Liberty. They play New Mexico State
I love
twice
you
a year.
building a storyline around Liberty.
Liberty plays New Mexico State twice a year. They're both independents. They also play New Mexico as well. So two games against New Mexico State and one against New Mexico. There got to be some fertile recruiting grounds in good old New Mexico that
Colby,
follows after.
are you worried about Liberty on the road? 0-5 in their last 5 road games.
I would be, but New Mexico State's really bad. So
New Mexico State 0-7 in their last 7 games, 2-8 ATS in the last 10 games at home. I'm gonna have to side with Colby here. Give me the road chalk with Liberty. Kramer, what are you doing?
Wait, they actually do play New Mexico State
I
twice?
told you, man.
This
Last
is the-
year too.
This is the first of a home and home
Yeah.
in the same season.
Last year as well.
This is groundbreaking stuff Liberty's doing.
3 games a year against
You
New
say
Mexico.
What, they
tell-
play once in the regular season, then once in the college playoff,
I don't understand this.
Perhaps
setup at
down the
all.
the
line.
conference championship.
Wait, so Liberty's an independent? Okay.
Yeah.
Of course they are. They're fucking Liberty, man.
So you said that Liberty was going to travel all that distance out to New Mexico and play at a little bit of altitude.
But they're used to. They went last year. They played 2 games in New Mexico last year.
So they're used to being like they've been a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Like I have black friends, Colby.
They arrive early, get used to that altitude.
No,
you know
is
what I
that
mean?
are they go? Do we have confirmation they're going early?
Yes, sources told me.
They barely beat New. Give me the dog.
Liberty? What?
Letdown spot. They know they have him later in the year. They got Maine on deck. Rutgers
Maine-
after
they're looking
that.
ahead to Maine.
Yeah. The Black Bears?
Why did you make us pick Liberty?
Because it's I'm of the opinion of fuck you guys. I'm going after the money. You know what I mean?
I like it.
We're also going after the money with our good pals over at Amazon. Help us grab that money. Bail us out of these the Colby 6-pack that we got a hole in. All you got to do, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, click that Amazon banner. I mean, is there any possible way you're not already shopping at Amazon? But why not shop at Amazon through our link? That's all we're asking. I'm not asking you to save the world, eliminate, air pollution, reverse global warming, care about the
Whoa.
elderly. I'm not asking you to do all those crazy things. I'm just asking you to click on one link instead of your other link. Instead of Amazon.com, click on Sports Gambling. You're already there. You're already at SportsGamblingPodcast.com, getting the free content, getting the free picks, getting the free podcasts. You don't feel a little guilty? I mean, when you take a lot of free stuff and you don't give anything back, it's kind of stealing. So clear your conscience and support our sponsors.
It's called welfare, right?
I'm going all in on Trump.
Click the Amazon banner, bookmark that link, and every time you shop on Amazon, just do it through our link. Thank you, guys. Okay, now we're moving over to the top 25. Ooh, a good game. In Ann Arbor, Michigan. One I may watch on
Did
the
you
television.
watch the last time Michigan played in a so-called big spot? That wasn't much of a good game.
Oh, yeah, I know, because I had Wisconsin. They just fucking
Maybe
pushed.
a good game for you.
Yeah, they just fucking wrinkled those khakis, Mr. Harbaugh. Iowa coming in to Michigan. Michigan, 3.5-point favorite, minus 170 on the money line. Iowa plus 150 total. Sitting at 47. Colby, are you taking Big Blue here?
No, I can't. I haven't been impressed with them all year. I mean, look, you beat Rutgers by 50, but shit. Central Connecticut State could probably do that too. Give me Iowa. I don't like this game. I'm staying away from it, but give me the Hawkeyes plus the 3.5. Until I see Michigan
Michigan
actually
is
look good.
just under. I mean, that was one of my bold college football predictions. That was correct. Taking the Michigan under. They've been 1-7 ATS in their last 8, and they just continue to underperform.
Have they fired Harbaugh yet?
No. Him and Jay Gruden are going to start a jam band.
And
or something.
Iowa's actually no one's talking about Iowa. Iowa's a pretty good football team.
Yeah,
You know?
and normally a team like Iowa is a team that I would stay away from because they're 4-0, kind of under the radar. Maybe they're getting a little hype, but they're only 2-2 ATS. So that to me says like, hey, they've actually had some expectations. They've met those expectations, and when they're favorites, they don't win by a ton, and that's why you're probably getting a good price even at 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised, but you know what? I learned my lesson early. I'm not backing Harbaugh again. Nothing worse than backing a Harbaugh and losing. Thank you, John. This week, Ravens completely crushed my fucking weekend. But I hate Jim Moore, and I think one of the things we've seen now over his career, he used to be the guy who was the better coach.
But right
and
now,
I think lately we've seen him get out-coached by teams and programs that just they know who they are. Wisconsin, great example. This is a classic Wisconsin team. Iowa, same thing. I think this is a classic Iowa team. I think Iowa comes in here and teaser alert, but I think the dog's going to be barking loudly.
But you would love some Jim Harbaugh at Virginia Tech right about now, right?
No, absolutely not.
Come on,
Really?
you wouldn't take
Really?
Harbaugh
That's
at
what I'm
Virginia
saying. What are you
Tech?
talking about?
Kramer,
No.
come on.
No.
You're lying to me.
Be serious.
No.
What about who was the Giants' old coach with the slick back hair for 1 year or 2 years?
Fossil?
No.
Ben
recently.
McAdoo?
Ben
McAdoo. What
McAdoo.
about him at Virginia
Okay.
Tech?
Oh, man, you're making this hard. If I had to choose between, I would take Harbaugh over Ben McAdoo.
What about
Okay.
Pat Shermer?
Oh, yeah, I like Pat Shermer.
Oh,
I like him.
oh man. Still,
You see what's going on in New York?
yeah. Wait till they play the Vikings. Auburn squaring off against Florida right now. It's in Gainesville. 12:30 kick. Auburn, a 3.5-point road favorite against the Gators. Gators plus 130 on the money line. Auburn minus 160. Total sitting at 47.5. Colby, what are you doing here in Florida?
I'm gonna roll with the Gators. Like this backup quarterback more than Felipe Franks. Auburn looking money, but we'll see. I think Auburn will get the win, but they don't have enough offense. I know they just destroyed Mississippi State, but I don't think they'll have enough offense to really open up this game against Florida. They're a run-heavy team. Against A&M, they only threw for 100 yards. Against Oregon, they did not look good throwing the ball. I think Florida will key, and Florida's strength is their defensive line.
Strength
So,
versus strength.
yeah.
And it's going to be in the swamp. And while Auburn's played some games this year,
Yeah,
they're 5-0 against the spread. At some point,
including my lock against Oregon.
that's coming back the other way. As much as I dislike Florida, I agree with Sean. This is one of the games that there's potential for this to be locked up because I think we're going to see the wrong teams favored.
Interesting stat, and these are from BetQL. Gus Malzahn 10-1 after 3 or more consecutive wins against the spread while coaching Auburn. So when Auburn gets hot, they get hot. Going the other way, though, for Florida, Dan Mullen, 17-14 after scoring 31 points or more in 2 straight games over their career. Also, 26-9 after 2 or more consecutive straight-up wins over their career. So, similar way. Once they get hot, they get rolling. Dan Mullen also 7-1 after 2 straight wins by 21 or more. Any sort of scenario you got here, when Dan Mullen gets going, he gets going. Gus Malzahn, 8-13 versus excellent passing teams, averaging 8.5 or more a passing yards per attempt. Yards per attempt, huge stat. Florida has more than that, and they're going to win.
Wow. Sean,
outright.
Wow. I definitely went over his word quota on a game.
Yeah, normally it's about 25. Went deep, dug deep. Rounding out the top 25, Michigan State. Big Sparty heading into Ohio State, a.k.a. Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State minus 20.5, minus 1,600 on the money line. Michigan State plus 915, total sitting at 48. Colby, do the Spartans have any shot in upsetting Ohio?
I mean, a tiny bit, but no.
Okay.
20.5 is too big of a number, though. I mean, I know last time they played, I think it was, they absolutely destroyed them. Ohio State did. But I just still think 20.5. Michigan State strengths their defense. If they can just slow down the offense a little bit, get some garbage points late, give me the 20.5 in the Spartans.
Boy, oh boy, this Ohio State team, pretty good.
They looked money against Nebraska, man.
Think there's any chance they're paying some of these guys?
Did you see they took them to a?
They cleaned that up back when Vince Young was there.
Once they gave that one guy a free tattoo.
Benihana,
Terrell Pryor.
Justin Fields took the offensive line out to Benihana after. It's pretty expensive for a college kid. You know?
Wow, and he paid for that himself?
Allegedly.
How do you not take? I mean,
it's on his meal plan, Benihana.
Serious question: how do you not take Ohio State?
Yeah, I hate laying big chalk right here, but
I mean, I get it. Like I'm hearing people say, "Well, D'Antonio and that defense, they lost by 20 last year. They lost like 48-3.
Yeah.
That might be the exact score a couple of years back."
They did beat him in Columbus one year, though. I think 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they beat him in Columbus.
They have, and there's the part of me that just wants to be contrarian this week. Wants to just take Michigan State because this is a tremendous amount of points. This has been bet up, but I don't know if I want to get in the way of this Ohio State team right now.
Yeah,
they're kind of fucking people up.
Yeah, they're winning, and they're winning by a significant margin, and been pretty good against the spread too. 4-1 ATS. The Buckeyes.
This is easily the best team they've played all year, though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is
and
it?
It's a little scary how
better
much
than Nebraska.
Nebraska has not looked good at all year. You know what I mean?
But is Michigan State look?
Nebraska's best win right now is against Illinois.
All right, that's fair point.
And they had to come back to win that game.
Fair point. It's weird that this is the favorite I take. I hate Urban Meyer's gone though. Maybe that relaxes my hatred for Ohio State. They do have Wisconsin on deck. Does that matter? This game still matters, right?
Yeah. Well, D'Antonio used to coach at Ohio State, so I think it always matters for him.
Yeah, and it's Big Ten, and they're at home. I think they're going to get up for this. I don't see them looking past this Michigan State team because, like Colby said, they are kind of good, which in a weird way, I think
good.
Well, I think in a weird way that can kind of hurt you against these big teams when you're going on the road trying to cover a big number because if you're kind of good, the team can't just walk through it. Like a way you could cover a giant number is you're really shitty. They get out, they're up 28-0 at halftime. They put in their scrubs. You get a couple touchdowns late. Ohio State, I think, is gonna feel the need to put them away and keep them away. So I think in a weird way, being decent can kind of hurt you when it's a 20.5-point spread.
So isn't this one of those games you say Ohio State blows them out, covers the spread, or Michigan State stays around as a live dog?
I feel like that's decent. I think a lot of it hinges on Lewerke taking care of the ball because they're not the type of team to battle back if they get down 2 scores. They don't have that high-powered offense. They have to take care of the ball, good special teams, good defense, and then hope that it's close in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Sorry.
Closing things out.
Closing.
Last segment. We are talking about the listener questions.
Oh, we all agreed on the top 25 games. That's never good.
Warning, danger. All right, who do we got here? At Real J Peterman, great Seinfeld reference, in Durham, North Carolina. He wants to know Pittsburgh, Duke 4-point favorite, -185 on the money line. Pittsburgh +160, total sitting at 48.5. What's going on, Colby?
Suddenly, this is potentially the Coastal on the line here. I mean, Virginia's it hasn't lost in the conference yet, but Duke hasn't either. So those are the top two. And then if you were to pick
Classic Cutcliffe.
your other two real contenders are UNC and Pitt. And, Pitt, it's basically a playoff game for Pitt because you can't go down 2 games to the contenders. They've already lost to Virginia. Give me Pitt in the 4 points. I think Duke might get the win, but give me Pitt in the 4 points.
Didn't I have Pittsburgh winning it all?
I think
the
you
conference?
did.
I
You did,
gave
yeah.
that out as a
The
dark
Coastal,
horse.
that division. Yeah, not
Yeah,
the conference.
Not the conference.
But Duke's coming off a huge win on the road at Virginia Tech.
Is it still a huge win? Because
in their mind, they're going to think
the
it's a huge
program
win.
is in shambles.
It definitely is like the
Long rest. Pittsburgh, long road trip.
long.
Yeah, it's pretty far from Pittsburgh to Duke.
Pitt,
right?
Pitt also had Delaware, good FCS. They almost fell asleep at the wheel a little bit. And I think they'll wake up.
They were looking ahead to Duke.
Hey, why not? Conference game compared to an FCS?
Yeah, I have some rules when it comes to these types of teams. I'm not playing the road team. I'm not playing Pittsburgh on the road here. This is a classic Cutcliffe team.
I could see Duke winning, but I just think it would be by 3.
Okay. That's bold. Give me the favorite.
I'm going Pitt, man. I like what I've seen out of this team the entire season. If their fucking pussy coach doesn't just constantly kick field goals, they could have beat. They had a chance to beat Penn State outright.
Dude,
I mean, imagine if they beat Penn State and UCF in the same season.
All right, Colby, answer this question. Would Sean call Narduzzi a pussy to his face? Absolutely not.
I don't think he would, actually.
I don't think he would.
Depends
either.
on how much Jameson he's had.
Oh, dude, he's 53 years old. You don't think I can throw that guy down a flight of stairs?
I mean,
break that old man's hip?
If we're on a level playing field, yeah, I don't know.
Sure, he works out. So do I. It's called the E-Gym at Gold's Gym.
It's called
right?
staying up late for the possums, right?
Yeah.
Putting Christmas lights underneath my house.
Yeah, you're such a tough guy. Why do you punt on 4th and goal, you fucking pussy? I
agree. I agree. With 3 minutes left, you have no timeouts or one timeout.
I get it. You have biceps. Curls are for the girls. You know what real men do? They go for it in the opponent's 5.
Well, needing a yard and a half. Get the fuck out of here.
And you don't have a field goal kicker.
Horrible strategy.
It'd be one thing if you had Jason Elam or some other awesome kicker.
What a reference.
Well, you're down by 7. It makes no sense to kick the field goal. There's not enough time to get the ball twice.
I get it. You're a jock. You don't know math. But jock, you shouldn't be so scared of just going for it.
Yeah, of beating your rival. You know what I mean?
That's what Doug Peterson. He's kind of a jock. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he does. The other guys do the numbers.
Yeah.
But on 4th down, right before halftime, you know what he does? He calls the Philly special. Okay,
Boom.
and they did that. He showed some balls later on
with the Pitt special.
Yeah.
He learned from week to week.
I'll take you, Pitt, but Narduzzi, need to do a couple more push-ups.
You're on the wrong side of this one. The Danny Dimes alma mater can't be stopped.
Except by allegations. Next question from Twitter. It's Caleb Brown, and he wants to know, beautiful Boulder, Colorado, where the Buffs are at home against Arizona. Buffs laying 3.5, -185. Zona coming the other way at +160. Total sitting at 63. Colby.
A lot of intangibles to pay attention to if you're handicapping this game here. Most importantly, Colorado's coming off a bye week.
Yep.
But Arizona last week beat UCLA. Kind of got lucky.
Didn't cover.
Yeah, kind of. I was on UCLA. I locked that one. If you pay attention to the college experience.
Oh, of course. Sean listens to all 2 hours every week.
Yep.
But
don't miss it.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson got injured. I think UCLA would have won that game outright. And Arizona didn't have Khalil Tate. and I haven't. I tried to do some research to see if he's playing today for this weekend, and I did not see that him and their running back is also out, J.J. Taylor. Now, also for Colorado's side, Colorado Laviska Shenault is a game-time decision along with their best defensive player, Mustafa Johnson, on the D-line. So,
good thing you picked this one, huh?
Well, that's a Twitter fan question. It was either this or
How
Rice.
dare you
It was
take
either this or Rice and Louisiana Tech or something like that.
Wow.
Rice and UAB, I mean.
I was dying to pick the
Yeah?
Dragons, bro. The Dragons.
They cost us last week.
Yeah, the Dragons are in timeout. They're paralyzed, much like they paralyze people with their spit.
But you guys know I'm a Buff guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You were born a buff, you'll die a buff.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That Buffalo running around the field. That Buffalo running around the field
Bison.
is better than anything Daniel Jones has done in his life. And and I got the Buffs.
You're
Taking care
you're
of
taking
business,
Jones's
right?
name in vain.
So I'm a little confused why you needed so many words to say fade Kevin Sumlin.
Yeah. I almost took Arizona last week, and you guys reminded me.
I walked you off
Twice
that, man.
you've tried
I
to
talked
take
you off it,
Arizona this season. Like a dumbass.
Yeah. You took it
I
against
did,
Hawaii.
I did take
didn't
it
you?
week 1. But it didn't matter because my lock hit, and it was Miami. We'll never forget that lock. That was a great lock. Sometimes I just look at the spreadsheet and dream of old locks. Makes the guy feel alive again. Closing out the show, San Diego State Aztecs, a.k.a. our Gals, a.k.a. the original Gals, until the Titans came into our life. They're heading in to Fort Collins, Colorado to square off against the Rams. Colorado State is a 7.5-point home dog, plus 245 on the money line. The Aztecs, the Warriors, minus 295, sitting at 52 for the total. Colby, what's happening here?
I hate to do it, man. I'm fading our Gals.
Damn it.
Fading
That
them.
was
Give
going
me
to be
the
my
Rams.
angle.
Give me the Rams and a touchdown and a half. Misleading that I think Colorado State's 1-4, but they covered last week for us as one of our only locks that hit on
20. Yeah, they're catching.
Yeah,
24.
they almost. I mean, that was a close game. The Utah State pulled away late. Give me Colorado State though. I think they're a lot better than their record indicates. So,
So Sean,
Yes.
where do you go surfing? In the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
And would you say that's at sea level?
Generally, yeah.
Generally at sea level. It's hard to go maybe a couple feet above sea level. Colorado State, what's that? A cool 6,000 feet.
Fort Collins, you're pushing 6.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
Actually,
maybe-
5,000 exactly.
Oh, okay. So almost a mile. I love the Colorado State Rams here. Got a Colorado State Rams shirt.
wow.
I'm
Just ram it,
basically
baby.
a fan. And
Do you have some good edibles up there or something?
there's nothing. Come on, dude. Does a bear shit in the woods? Actually, saw a bear last time I was in the Fort Collins area. Scared the shit
While
out
on
of me.
edibles.
While on edibles. Very,
But I guess
very-
that's a moot point.
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
better than
Different than when I see the Bears in West Hollywood. Completely different scenario. But what do I know about San Diego State? They know how to disappoint you as a long road favorite. 7.5. This is an obvious spot. Take the Rams.
You guys lost faith in our Gals. And someone on this podcast, and I guess that someone is me, needs to take the San Diego Aztecs laying 7.5.
San Diego State.
What I call them? San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay, the state's implied.
Well, they don't have the Chargers anymore, so
And-
that's their football team.
And just for the record,
San Diego Superchargers, charge.
the record will reflect San Diego State 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games against Colorado State. So they see your elevation and they say, "Suck it, Warrior
Suck it."
style."
all right, now
We're Aztecs.
can I throw out a suggestion to the clients?
Sure.
a bonus pick, perhaps.
Well, this would be a bonus parlay. But
Oof.
what about the state of Colorado
Mm.
brings it home parlay here?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, you could do worse with your money. You get to fade Kevin Sumlin, and then you get to fade the always disappointing Gals when laying more than a touchdown on the road.
Air Force is also a favorite at Navy. State of Colorado, make it.
Let's not
Yeah.
get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Sean, what are we doing?
Well, I was going to just do the math real quick on that sweet parlay you threw out there. If you entered that parlay over mybookie.ag, and use the promo code SGP. A $100 wager on Colorado and Colorado State parlay together would win you $431.49.
What if you parlayed the money lines?
That's what I did.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was just talking
'Cause
about
I'm not-
spread parlay.
I'm not like Narduzzi. I'm
Ooh,
not
ooh,
scared.
ooh.
I would actually lay the 3.5 and grab the 7.5
All right.
if
Well,
I'm
there you
if
go.
I'm doing it in a parlay.
Let's do it. Lock Dog and Tease presented by MyBookie. Colby, kick things off. Who's your lock?
My lock is the Toledo Rockets.
Oh,
taking
stop
care of
it.
business in Toledo, Ohio.
Stop it.
Minus a 1.5. Western Michigan's lost their best player. Give me the Rockets to handle business.
I like this.
Okay. Give me your dog.
My dog is going to be off. Look, I went with 6 favorites. All right. Key. Note that. 6 favorites.
So it has to be either Michigan State or Pittsburgh or Colorado State
Yeah.
or Iowa.
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Panthers. Getting it done.
Okay. Pitt plus 160 on the money line.
Oh, that's your dog? Oh, interesting.
What's your tease?
My tease is let's just knock down Oklahoma State to a solid 4.5.
Okay.
Let's knock down Texas to 5.5. And you laugh at this, but I hit my tease last week. Did you, buddy? Huh?
Yeah, we all did.
We all did. Thank
I've been
you.
hitting
very-
teases at 80%.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to check the numbers, buddy.
I was directing it towards Kramer, by the way. And then let's what's my final one here? Let's knock down North Carolina to 4.5 as well. Let's just stay all across. You know, I'm gonna win. Just give me the money now. And my bonus pick, like I said, I picked 6 favorites, but I got to be honest, guys. I'm gonna come clean and admit to you guys what really happened. Was I had 5 favorites and a dog, but I thought it'd be funnier if I did 6 favorites.
There you go.
What's
Comedic
the-
effect.
Give me the dog.
My dog is the Tulsa Golden Hurricane against the undefeated SMU Mustangs catching 13. Love Tulsa catching 13.
Ooh.
I'm all over that one.
Lock. Iowa plus 3.5. Dog. Florida plus 130.
Hold on. Iowa plus 3.5. Dog is
Pay attention, Sean. Florida plus 130.
well, you stole my dog. That's why.
Stop it. There's nothing on the sheet. For my teas, would it be? Would you accept my Colorado 2-teamer? Pays better than the teas.
You got to add a third one, though, you know?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll do a real tease. Just the college teasers. It's fucking stupid because the points don't mean shit. Give me Baylor plus 8.
Okay.
Give me Florida plus 9.5. Give me Iowa plus 9.5.
Okay.
And for my bonus pick, dare I do this, Sean?
Miami minus 13.
That would be good. Another angle that it seems to be lucrative. We called this out early in the year. It's the fade Les Miles.
Yes.
The problem is Oklahoma has the look ahead. I can't. I just that's what prevents me because it's like, can they lay the full 33? Thinking about Texas next week, so I'm actually gonna stay on the sheet. I'm gonna take Florida.
Wow.
I'm gonna double dip with. Can I do that, Sean?
A bonus lock? I don't think
Your
that's a
bonus
bonus.
lock is
Yeah.
Florida plus 3.5.
Is that
We're already
illegal?
covering
3.5.
that.
Is that a
That's-
legal
flag on the
maneuver?
play or what?
And you have a tease. No, I won't allow that. That's not a true bonus.
Why
A
not?
bonus implies extra stuff we haven't
Yeah.
gone over.
What do you
Hence,
mean?
A bonus.
Oh, now we're changing the rules of what a bonus is.
a
A
bonus,
bonus
is a bonus.
implies
Yeah.
there's okay. You
I'm
have
giving
something.
you another bet, motherfucker.
You already gave out your Florida pick. You have to give out something extra.
Jesus.
Hence
I
the
gave-
bonus.
How many years have you been doing this, buddy?
I gave out Florida on the money line. Now I'm giving out Florida with the points.
It's
What
the
part of
same-
this-
I would also imply.
English?
Isn't it
Do you
implied to
speak
take
it,
the points?
motherfucker?
Well, now I'm not prepared.
Oh my god.
Now I'm not prepared. I mean, the only
Miami minus 13.
no, the other game I was going to consider as a lock would be Baylor. Would that be allowable?
No.
It's on the sheet. You want me to go off the sheet?
Yeah, that's the whole
completely now.
point of the bonus.
Wait, you have 100% taken a bonus pick from the sheet.
What?
I don't
no, I
think so.
haven't.
All right, go ahead. I'll figure something out.
All right.
I'll figure something out. You guys.
Where's UCF? Just take UCF.
No.
That's my bonus.
I take this seriously for my clients.
My lock.
I'm at 100% on the bonuses, buddy.
You are.
Okay, guys, I'm talking. Colorado is my lock, -3.5. My dog. Dare I say it?
How dare
Pittsburgh,
you?
Pittsburgh and Florida, 2 dogs I already liked, are already off. I'm backed into a corner. But I like the corner because it involves the West Virginia Mountaineers winning outright against Texas. Big dogs bark louder, baby.
Sean's trying to copy my sweet Bucks +360 last week.
Yeah.
I was on that too, buddy.
It did remind me of that Big Dogs shirt. Remember those in the 90s?
Yeah.
Big Dogs, baby.
For the fat guys. I like it.
Liberty. Tease that down to a half. Pittsburgh. Tease that up to 10. That's a great number for Pittsburgh. And then UNC. Tease it down to 4.5. Not ideal, but Georgia Tech sucks. And for my bonus.
Well, let's hear it.
Central Florida. They get back. They get right. They go against Cincinnati Friday night. They're going to take care of business against the Bearcats. UCF -5.
Professional.
He literally
He's a professional.
heard you say that.
I already had it.
And then he went, and then he was like, oh, well, I might as well use this as my bonus pick. You know what I'm going to do? Let's have some fun. Tennessee, absolute dog shit. I'm going to lay the points with Georgia. What is it? What do we have?
25, I think it is. What is
Let's
it?
see. Georgia is laying 25.5. Lock that up. Bonus lock. Come at me. Come at me.
Georgia -25.5. Come at him. All right, guys. That was fun.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Super funny. You guys changed the rules.
That was it's not a rule if it's just implied common sense. That'd be like if I had sex with Colby's mom and he's like, whoa, that's against the rules. No, it's just implied that you don't do that.
That would kind of be out of
someone's
bounds.
mom.
That would kind of be out of bounds.
It would be, but you wouldn't have to say. That would be like me
Sean, you
saying
shouldn't do
there
that.
was never that was never in the rules. There was no rule out there that said
Sean,
you can't have.
yeah.
It's like Costanza.
Look, he's already got the possums. You're getting him really worked up.
Wait, who does Coastal Carolina have?
Remember that Seinfeld episode where Costanza goes, "Wait,
bye week.
you can't sleep with the cleaning staff? Is that frowned
Yeah,
upon?" If I would have known, you couldn't sleep with the. I didn't know because I've worked at other places.
Oh shit!
Before we go, got to throw out some shout outs to some awesome 5-star reviews. This gentleman will win some free merch if he hears this our review of his review being read. Contact us, podcast@sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Great GD podcast, 5 stars.
What's GD mean?
Don't say goddamn.
Well, he doesn't want to curse and have it moderated.
Oh, I got you.
App Guy 547 or 5477. These guys tell it like it is. Not afraid to be afraid, not hesitant about expressing their own implicit biases, unadulterated information and judgment. Listen to it with your ears. I think that might be a haiku, Ryan. He may be taking a lead off your poetry battle.
People are really into the poetry, so.
All right, guys, that'll do it for the podcast. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Rate, review, and share. Make sure you check out Colby Dan on the College Experience on the Sports Gambling Network. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Good luck tonight, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.